Dear students, once again welcome to our online classes. So for today's online classes, I have chosen the next lesson. It is of course lesson number 8 from your unit 6, as unit 6 is now we are going through the unit 6 and the lessons related to this unit. Okay, so basically in this chapter we will go through a story. Though the story is not unfamiliar one to you, you have already learned the story most probably in class 3, but in Bengali. Okay, so now the story is actually narrated in English, but the theme and the basic lines or the ideas is the same in the Bengali, and both in Bengali and English language. Just it is translated into two different languages. That's it. So I would like to, before starting our lesson, I would like to ask you to have your own English for Today book with you, so that you can indicate or you can underline the most important words, and you can go through the main ideas with Mrs. Instruction. Okay. So there are actually some of the keywords. These are given on the very front line of this story. The keywords are selfish, giant, gruff, and trespasser. Please have your book with you, as you know that English for Today is all about your textbook. Without a textbook, the learning would not be so fruitful. Okay, so have your English for Today and go through the page 63, and there's a new story. The name of the story is The Selfish Giant Part 1, and the keywords are selfish, giant, gruff, trespasser. Okay, I would like to ask you to please have a look on the board. Okay, so I have given the meaning of the words here. So the first word is selfish. Okay, selfish means the person who always thinks about himself, who can see none other than him, his own self. Okay, or her own self. So here selfish means self-centered person. Okay, who always thinks about own betterment. Then the second one is giant, that is giant. Giant means monster or supernatural element. Okay, or you can also say that devil, though all the gigantic figures are not meant to be devil. Okay, so you can write monster or supernatural element. I think these are the perfect words for that. Then gruff. Gruff means angrily or the anger. Okay, so the next one is trespasser, that is trespasser. What is trespasser? Trespasser means the unwelcome visitors. Unwelcomed, actually it will be unwelcomed visitor. That means who will who visits your house or home without any invitation. Okay, though you don't ask them to to meet you, but they are always they are always ready to meet you, though they are not being invited. So that means unwelcomed visitor or interpolar loper or intruder, যেটাকে আমরা সহজ বাংলা ভাষায় বলি অনাকাঙ্ক্ষিত or অযাচিত কেউ, কিংবা যেমনটা আমরা হিন্দিতেও আজকাল শোনা যায় যে মানে বিন বুলাই বারাতি or মেহমান. So unwelcomed visitor means someone who is not invited, but here he is ready to meet you. Okay, so these are the some keywords, that selfish, self-centered person, giant, monster or supernatural element, gruff, anger, trespasser, unwelcomed visitor, or interloper or intruder. Okay, so I think you have already got the idea about the keywords. So now it's time to go through it line by line. So before going to the text, you can see on the task number A, that means A is indicating a picture. Go through the task number A. Here look at the picture, answer this question. So here some of the questions are for you, and looking at the picture, seeing the picture, you have to sense that what the answers will be. So who do you think these people are? Who do you think these people are? See, at the very beginning of the unit 6, we have learned about we got a story about Jishan and his grandparents and cousins. There was a family gathering or family get together. Remember? Yeah. So it is actually sorry, he was not Jishan. It's Shima. So they visited their grandparents' house and there was a mini family get together. So it was on the sequence of that lesson. So who do you think these people are? These people are actually Shima's relatives or Shima's grandparents and Shima's cousins. Where can they be? They are in front of the house. um, then can you guess what they are doing? Yes, they are chatting or they are discussing something, or they are just having a what? They are just listening to the grandparents. As we can see, the grandfather is talking to, okay, talking to the other persons. So can you guess what they are doing? They are in a family get together, so they are discussing actually something. So read the story silently. Task number B. You go silently, but I have to go loudly. So Shima's grandfather was telling the story of the selfish giant. Oh, so the elder person, the eldest person here is Shima's grandfather. So he is what? He is doing what? He is actually telling a story. Okay. So the story is about a giant. That means the story is that of a giant and his guardian and some of the children. Actually, there was, I mean, let me give you an overview of the whole story before going through it line by line. Let me give you the overview or the summary. Okay. So in a few words, the story is that of a giant and some of the children. So the giant used to have a very beautiful garden, but for 7 years he was missing. When he returned back at his place, he found some of the children were playing at the garden and they are using the garden as their own playground. Okay, so actually the story is about the giant and his garden, or you can say the story is actually the giant, his garden, and about the children. Let us go through the chapter line by line. It is the selfish giant. It was a large, lovely garden with soft green grass. Here and there, over the grass, stood beautiful flowers. Also, there were fruit trees around the garden. So, from these lines, we can sense that the story is narrating the description of the garden. As we know, the garden means there will be some of the trees. It can be trees of flowers, or it can be an orchard. Okay, so see, the story is very familiar and a very common story. So we will just go through the story and we will enjoy the story, nothing else. Okay, so don't be panicked about the homework or the task. Okay, I would like to ask you to please be relaxed, and the year of tension truly will be relaxed. Okay, as as far this is your Priyanka miss, I think you can be relaxed. So enjoy the story. That's it. Don't be panicked about the numbers or the homework. Okay. So it was a large, that means here a description is about the garden, and the garden is full of beautiful flowers, lovely trees, and also there were some of the fruit trees around the garden. Okay, so one day the giant came back. He went to see his friend in a distant land and stayed with them for 7 years. When he arrived, he saw children playing in his garden. So one day the giant came back. That means the owner of the garden was a giant. That means was a monster. So he went to see his friend in a distant land. That means he was missing for some days. Where did he go? He went to meet his friend and there he stayed for 7 years. Oh my God. So then when he arrived, he saw children playing in his garden. When he came back, he saw some of the children now making the land as their playground. So what are you doing here? Cried the giant in a very gruff voice. And with a very angry note, he asked them that what are you doing here? What's the business here? What are your activities? I mean, that is not your place. So what are you doing? The children ran away. Of course, seeing the gigantic figure, who will wait? Even for few minutes. At least I can't wait anymore. So the children ran away. That means they were feared by the gigantic figure, and they just skipped away the place. Then every afternoon, the children came back from school and used to go and play in the giant's garden. So, in that 7 years, on the absence of the giant, the children of the, as they are now still children, in 7 years, maybe their age limit will be from 3 to 7 years, not more than. So, these children in those 7 years, they even didn't see the giant even for once, and they thought that it's an open place, so it can be used as our playground. So in that 7 years, in on the every afternoon they used to come to this place, and they used to play. They had their own time spending with the friends. So it was becoming their permanent playground, at least for 7 years. Okay, so my own garden is my own garden, said the giant. So now the gigantic figure is commenting that my own garden is my own garden. Of course, as it's his own place, so he can't tolerate anyone, or he can't tolerate any trespasser. So anyone can understand that, and I will allow nobody else to play in it. So he is now saying that anyone can understand that, and I will allow nobody else to play in it. As it's my own place, what are you doing here? What's the business? So mind your own business, and please leave this place as early as possible, as I will not allow you. So in your own place, can you tolerate anyone? No, at least not for permanently. So he built a high wall all around the garden and put up a notice. So now when it's about, when he could sense a danger that they will actually capture the whole land. So actually I think the monster is now also fearing the children, that lest they should make it for their own, permanently. So what did he do? He raised a high wall. Okay, he built a high wall around the whole garden, so that nobody can have any entry without any permission, and he put up a notice in big letters that trespassers will be punished. That means who will enter into the garden without permission, that means the unwelcome persons or the unwelcome visitors will be punished. Okay, so see, very interesting story it is, though it's very familiar story, but yet reading again and again the story will not make you bored. So I think the story is, we are going through the story just for our own amusement. Okay, so please mind that everything is not meant to be for exam, everything is not meant to be for numbers. Okay, sometimes it's good to know for no reason. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this story. We will go through the next part on the next class. So till then, stay well and take care.